Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to First Reaction TV. My name is J-Mart. So today we're going to be watching some of the videos involving the hearings about the Twitter files and the weaponization of the government. It's kind of sad to say that I've watched a couple of them already, and some of them are pretty appalling in my opinion. The Democrats are absolutely throwing a fit, and they are slamming and trashing these reporters that came forward, and it's just it's sick, man. Like, it's sick. You know, these reporters took a risk on what they're doing, standing up for what they thought was right, and they're getting trashed for it. So the Democrats are throwing a fit. You're never gonna guess which name they brought up. It starts with a T, but I won't tell you. I'll let you see for yourself which name that they love to say today over and over and over again. So please hit that subscribe button, stick around to the end, comment, and let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching.
What is this subcommittee trying to do exactly? President Trump. Donald 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 Trump. Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. What is this subcommittee trying to do exactly? President Trump. And there it is.
And what's unfortunate here is that we are talking about Twitter. We are not talking about Donald Trump jailing his former counsel to prohibit him from publishing a book that the president did not want. The former president literally jailed his enemy. And we're here talking about Twitter. Twitter. And even with Twitter, you cannot find actual evidence of any direct government censorship of any lawful speech. And when I say lawful, I mean non-criminal speech, because plenty of speech is non-criminal.
I'll give you one. The gentleman's time to expire. I'd ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the following email from Clark Humphrey, Executive Office of the Presidency, White House Office, January 23rd, 2021. That's the Biden administration, 4:39 a.m. Hey, folks. This goes to Twitter. Hey, folks, wanted to use the term they used the term Mr. Goldman just used. Wanted to flag the below tweet, and I'm wondering if we can get moving on the process for having it removed ASAP.
Boom.
You said in no time did the government explicitly say to take a tweet down. Here we have it, right here, from the White House. They couldn't even wait 2 days. 2 days into this administration, they were asked Twitter to take something down.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not exaggerating when I say that you have called before you 2 witnesses who pose a direct threat to people who oppose them. It's funny when people have to go through that. Exactly. This is unacceptable. I'm ready for it. I don't know if a lot of other people are, but just as it was unacceptable for Kevin McCarthy to provide 41,000 hours of sensitive security footage to a biased talking head in an effort to rewrite what happened on January 6th. This is a new Republican playbook, apparently. Risk American safety and security to score political points.
The gentlelady's words should be struck. We do not accuse witnesses of threatening others. That is out of line and outside the rules of this committee.
That, and I can have an opinion.
You don't get to determine what's struck down.
Well, you do get an opening statement, and it's about
so let me finish.
over.
The committee will suspend.
We know this is because at the first hearing, the chairman claimed that big government and big tech colluded to shape and mold the narrative and suppress information and censor Americans. This is a false narrative. We're engaging in false narratives here, and we are going to tell the truth. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I would just point out the consent decree was in our report. We offered your staff also the opportunity to review the FTC letters. You have not come over to review those letters. Third, the idea that I believe both of these individuals who are getting ready to testify, I believe they're both Democrats. The idea that 2 journalists who happen to be Democrats—
Did you not give that offer at 8 o'clock last night?
I'm talking now. Your time was ended a few
Neither
seconds
of us
ago.
are in time.
I don't think they're here to help us politically. I think they're here to tell us the truth.
Now, Mr. Taibbi, I've read a lot of your work. I respect some of it. But you've cast a lot of doubt on Russian interference in our elections. And today, you have virtually alleged a vast government conspiracy to censor speech. But I can tell you that the threat to our democracy— I'm not asking you a question. I'll let you know when I do. We live in an information age where malign actors do want to use social media to influence our elections, both big, the ones that you've spent a lot of time talking about, and small, like mine.
Mr. Congressman,
And
may
it
I
should
ask
be
a
a
question?
bipartisan goal. No, you don't get to ask questions here.
Okay.
It should be a bipartisan goal to ensure that Americans and only Americans determine the outcome of our elections, not fear-mongering. And I hope that you can actually take this with you, because I honestly hope that you will grapple with this. That it may be possible that if we can take off the tinfoil hat, that there's not a vast conspiracy.
So you're not going to tell us when Musk first approached you?
Again, Congressman, when
So
you're
you have to
asking me
say
to,
yes or
you're
no.
asking a journalist to reveal a
So
source.
then you consider Mr. Musk to be the direct source of all this?
No, now you're trying to get me to say that he is the source. I
Well,
just
it
can't answer
either
your
is or
question.
he isn't. If you're telling me you can't answer because it's your source, well, then that the only logical conclusion is that he is in fact your source.
Well, you're free to conclude that.
Well, sir, I just don't understand. You can't have it both ways, but let's move on because
Well,
there's
no, he
another
can.
area
He's a
where you can't
journalist.
No,
have
he
it
can't,
both ways.
because either Musk is the source and he can't talk about it, or Musk is not the source. And if Musk is not the source, then he can discuss
No
his
one has
conversations
yielded. The
with
gentlelady's out
source.
of order. You don't get
And
to
she's
speak.
out of
The
order
gentlelady is
because
not
he's
recognized. The
interrupted.
gentlelady is
Mr.
not
Chairman,
recognized.
You're
I'd
not
like to
recognizing
reclaim
my
my
time.
time.
He has
Mr.
not said
Chairman,
that.
I don't.
By
What he has
talking
said
about
is he's
who-
not going to
Chairman,
reveal his source, and the
I
fact
did
that
not yield
Democrats
my
are
time
pressuring
to
him
the
to do
chairman
so
or
is
the
such a
regular
We're not.
violation
We're
of the
asking
First
him
Amendment.
about his
I have my time
conversations
back.
with Musk.
In exchange for the opportunity to cover a unique and explosive story, I had to agree to certain conditions. What were those conditions? She asked you that question, and you said you had none, but you yourself posted that you had conditions.
No, the conditions, as I've explained multiple times.
No, sir, you've not explained. You told her in response to her question that you had no conditions. In fact, you kind of used the word license, that you were free to look at all of them, all 100,000 emails.
The question was posed, was I free to write about?
Sir, did you have any conditions?
The condition was that we published
Sir,
on
did
Twitter.
you have any conditions, yes or no? A simple question.
Yes.
All right, could you tell us what conditions those were?
The conditions were an attribution, sources at Twitter, and that we break any news on Twitter.
But you didn't break it on Twitter. Did you send the file that you released today to Twitter first?
Did I send the?
Sir, I'm
Actually, I
asking you
did. Yes.
today.
Yeah.
Did you send it to Twitter first?
The Twitter
That was
files
one of the
thread?
conditions? Yes or no, sir?
The Twitter files thread actually did come out first.
But sir, you said earlier that you had to attribute all the sources to Twitter first. What you released today, did you send that to Twitter first?
No. I posted it on Twitter.
First. First, sir. Or did you give it to the ranking member, to the chairman of the committee or the staff of the committee first?
Well, that's not breaking the story. That's giving. Yes, I did give.
So you gave all the information that you did not give to the Democrats. You gave it to the Republicans first. Then you put it on Twitter?
Actually, no. The chronology is a little bit confused.
Well, then
It's more or
tell
less
us
the
what the
same time.
chronology was.
I believe the thread came out first
Where?
on Twitter.
On Twitter. So then you afterwards gave it to the Republicans and not the Democrats?
Yes, because I'm submitting it for the record as my statement.
Did you give it to them in advance?
I gave it to them today.
You gave it to them today, but you still have not given anything to the Democrats. Well, I'll move on, and I wanted to ask Mr. Schellenberger the same question, sir. When did you first visit with or get contacted by Mr. Musk?
I'm not going to reveal my sources, but like I said, I was invited by Barry Weiss. and
I'm
it
not
was-
asking for sources, sir. I'm just asking
Yeah,
for chronology.
I
When
was-
did you first make contact with Mr. Musk?
I don't know the exact date.
Was it
It was December.
2020?
It was December.
December of, well, there's a lot of Decembers in history.
December of
sir.
last
Which-
year.
Which December?
December of last year, ma'am.
Last year, the 22?
Yes.
All right. Now, in your discussion, in your answer, you also said that you were invited by a friend, Barry Weiss.
My friend Barry Weiss.
So this friend works for Twitter, or what is her,
She's a journalist.
sir, I didn't ask you a question. I'm now asking Mr. Schellenberger a question. Please
Yes,
do
ma'am.
not
Barry Weiss is a
interrupt.
journalist.
I'm sorry, sir?
She's a journalist.
She's a journalist. So you work in concert with her?
Yeah.
Do you know when she first was contacted by Mr. Musk?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in this as a threesome?
There was many more people involved than that.
There was many more people involved with it. Are you being paid to be here today, either through consulting fees,
No,
campaign contribution
absolutely
to your next
not.
run?
Gentlelady's
Absolutely
time
You
not.
have
is,
an interview
gentlelady's
scheduled after
time
this
is
hearing?
expired.
Absolutely not.
Gentlelady's
Right,
time has
thank you.
expired.
Thank you.
I don't know what to say. I do think it's worth pointing out that, I have co-sponsored, I think some of my colleagues have co-sponsored the SHIELD Act in previous Congresses with Democrats to protect what we see them trying to do today, protect journalists from having to reveal their sources to government. That used to be a shared position in the Congress. Unfortunately, as we're seeing now, multiple occasions, it's not the position anymore.
Who was the
people at Twitter.
individual that gave you permission to access the emails?
Well, the attribution from my story is sources at Twitter, and that's what I'm going to refer to.
Okay. Did Mr. Musk contact you, Mr. Taibbi?
Again, the attribution from my story is sources at Twitter.
Mr. Schellenberger, did Mr. Musk contact you?
Actually, no. I was brought in by my friend Barry Weiss, and so this story, there's been a lot of
So
misinformation
Mr. Weiss
or
brought you in.
disinformation about
Mr.
that.
Taibbi, Ms. Weiss, thank you. Mr. Taibbi, have you had conversations with Elon Musk?
I have.
Okay. Mr. Taibbi, did Mr. Musk place any conditions on the use of the
Would the
email?
gentlelady yield for a second?
As long as my time is not used for
Are
it.
you trying to get journalists
No,
to
I'm not
expose
trying to
their
get, no,
sources?
I'm not.
Well,
I
it
am
sure sounds
asking,
like it.
no, well, if you will let me finish. And you had conversations with him, you said you weren't going to, which would be probably the reason that they were concerned if they're giving files to journalists that potentially data about users as well as data about individuals and employees would be given to them.
My understanding
So
is
I
that
didn't
they
ask
didn't
a
ask-
question. I didn't ask you a question, sir. Okay?
I just think this is interesting. First, the FTC is asking for your backgrounds, and now the ranking member of the Committee on the Weaponization of Government is asking for your sources. If
I
that
never
doesn't
asked them
raise-
for their sources.
Yes,
I
you
did
and
not
we-
ask for sources.
what?
I asked
The
if they were
gentlelady's not-
talking
the
to
gentlelady's
Elon Musk.
not
And they
recognized.
said that they were not talking. Well, you are not going to say,
I would
I've
yield
asked
back.
for
I would
sources.
yield back to the
Thank
gentlelady.
you.
I thank her for
With
yielding.
Thank
respect, you asked me who gave me
I asked you who
files.
gave it to you, and when you said they were your sources, I then asked you if you had spoken with Elon Musk. I did not ask you who those sources were.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm literally blown away by this. Like absolutely blown away. I can't comprehend what's going on. And, I thought this story was obviously important from the start. I think it's important. I literally think it's 10 times more important now. 10 times more important. Because these people have not only came in there, they tried to disrespect the journalists, they tried to call out their sources, they tried to character assassinate them, they tried to, ask them gotcha questions, trying to trick them. And once again, like, these journalists are Democrats. Democrats. One ran for governor as a Democrat. And the other guy is literally, he's done nothing but work for like left-wing publications his whole life. So these guys came in there to tell a story down the middle, and the bottom line is the Democrats just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't want to hear it. Like, they don't want to hear it. Their stance now is, yes, we had the FBI telling people to flag other people, to censor people. We had the FTC, apparently. We had literally people in the White House working for our president, Joe Biden, messaging Twitter, telling them to look at certain accounts and to flag them and to get them removed as soon as possible. All that has came out from these guys, and they are still saying, we don't care. We don't care. Because these guys are telling you that they're going to do it. They will censor you, they will flag you, and they will remove you if you say anything that they disagree with. Period. And they're drawing their line in the sand right now. And they're saying, yep, we did it. What are you guys going to do about it? And that's where it's at. And I cannot believe that response. If these reporters were like all right-wing, extreme media, they came in there and testified, I could see the banter back and forth and I can understand it. But once again, it's not that. Like, these guys have their entire careers behind them where they are valid, honest, and, you know, decent reporters. And not only that, they were, like I said, they were on the left. Like, they worked for left-wing publications. And they're literally just trying to tell the truth and to be honest about what happened. And, dude, these people can't take it. Like, they can't take it. I'm at a loss for words almost, and like, I feel disgust. Like, I am absolutely disgusted with that. They're trying to, you know, character assassinate these poor guys that went in there just to tell the American public what was going on. So, I don't know, man. I think it's crazy. I think things are going to get even crazier by the end of the day. But I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments. And once again, I appreciate your support, and thanks for watching.
And President Trump. And there it is.